I've been arguing all week that Notre Dame is a better football team than Miami right now. And I would have no problem if Miami gets left out of the playoff system and Notre Dame gets let in. Am I crazy?
Yes, absolutely. 1,000% crazy. As crazy as that hat you're wearing. It's a mockery if you allow this. If what you just said happens, it's a mockery. We're setting this thing up for 10 years of back. This will be set back so bad. First of all, I said you never should have got rid of the 14 playoff. Number one. Number two, this is a joke. Now, let's be honest real quick. And I just want to drop the mic on you real fast. Can you tell me where Texas and Vanderbilt are ranked right now?
Texas and Vanderbilt. I thought I looked it up. Is Texas?
Tell me where they're ranked.
Hold on. I don't know.
Who's ranked higher?
Texas is.
Why?
Because they have Arch Manning and they're Texas, and there's probably a big television draw.
Stop. Because they beat Vanderbilt head to head.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. And that's by the committee's reasoning.
Gotcha.
So how the hell is Notre Dame ranked ahead of Miami when Miami beat them head to head? There is a huge hypocritical system in place, Jason. And you can't sit here and tell me one team that Notre Dame's beaten this year that carries any weight when it comes to a blue blood program. Tell me a team that Notre Dame beat.
USC.
If you say Pittsburgh, I'm going to hang up.
USC.
USC's horrible. They were 23rd at the time.
They're blue blood.
They're horrible.
That's not what you said. They're blue blood.
USC doesn't belong in. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Hypocrisy. Stop. We cannot set this precedent. Miami has 4 top 25 wins, Jason. The committee said.
And a loss to SMU and who else?
I don't care. Because
Louisville.
Guess what?
Louisville and SMU. Yeah.
You lost head to head. Carson Beck. If we're gonna hold
in exhibition season, they lost. Week 1
we're gonna hold Florida State
season.
out of a playoff 2 years ago for the quarterback being out of the game and on an undefeated team. If we're gonna hold the quarterback play in that high regard, then I better look at how good Carson Beck's playing right now versus how good the quarterback at Notre Dame's playing right now, because that matters. And how bad Mateer looks at Oklahoma, and how bad or good Arch Manning is looking. I got to weigh in and say quarterback play matters so much. And we left Florida State out 2 years ago that I got to look at the quarterback play now. But you know why we can't do that? Because we have people like Condoleezza Rice and a bunch of nobodies on this committee. That's the problem. We got people that never played football on the committee.
Let me ask you this. That luxurious 5-bedroom home that you live in out in California.
Nah.
If I were to approach you and say, JB, you got to bet that house of yours if Notre Dame and Miami played tomorrow's Saturday, who would you pick? If your house was riding on Notre Dame versus Miami tomorrow, who do you think would win that game?
You sound very liberal right now. And I'm very disappointed how left-leaning you sound right now on this show. Here's the reason. See, you're just like a liberal. What happens is when liberals, they get their butts whipped early, and then some time passes, and then they see some things happen, and then they forget about getting their butts whipped early, and they forget about the fact that they've already faced head-to-head, and they remember, and they're like, oh, now, though, bet your house. Oh, we're going to get you back. Stop, Jason. They faced each other already. The committee said head-to-head competition versus each other. The committee also said drop your nuts and go play somebody, Jason. What'd Texas do game 1? Who has Ohio State played since Texas? Please don't say Michigan. Who have they played? Well, Ohio State's about to get upset by Indiana tomorrow. Ohio State's about to get upset because it's the first quarterback wideout offensive schematics they faced all year long. Ohio State has played 0 QBs all year, played 0 offense all year, and we're anointing this defense as the greatest defense of all time. Stop it.
JB,
The
no.
head-to-head game matters, Jason. Do you have to give Miami the credit
You're
for
making
playing
10
them?
different points. Ohio State is going to win that game by 2 touchdowns. I will bet my house on that.
All right. Oh, you better be careful. Prime sexuals are out there.
Ohio State is going, and I'm from Indiana. I'm rooting for Kirk Cignetti. Their defensive coordinator is a great former Ball State football player, Brian Haynes. I'm rooting for Indiana. I know one thing. My first sports writing job was in Bloomington, Indiana. I know what happens to the Indiana Hoosiers when Ohio State lines up to play football against them. Indiana does not win those games. And I don't care if it's Bill Mallory, Kirk Cignetti, Bill Lynch, or Bobby Knight is coaching the team. Ohio State will beat Indiana by 2 touchdowns on Saturday. And I'm not rooting for it. I hope I'm wrong, but I know I'm not wrong.
Well, it sounds good. That's way before Portal and NIL. This is way before. That's when people actually were from Indiana and from Ohio that played each other, and I get your point on that. But this is no longer that. This is Floridians and Californians and people that were at the school a month ago and now are at the other school. So stop. These guys don't care about their commit. They don't know anything about Indiana when Mallory was there, when I signed in Indiana in 93, when they had Alex Smith, the best white running back y'all have ever had. So listen, I get it. They don't have a clue who any history is at these places no more. They don't care. So Indiana's going to come out there. They're going to give them they're going to give Ohio State, presenting them problems they haven't faced all year long with a competent quarterback and a competent play caller. They haven't seen anything. Arch Manning didn't even know who he was when they played him. And guess what? You know what Texas did against Ohio State that game, week 1? Outgained Ohio State by 200 yards. That bad, horrible-looking offense with Arch Manning outgained Ohio State by 200 yards, Jason. That's how bad Ohio State is. They're fugazi. I'm not buying stock in Ohio State this year. I'm just telling you right now. Yeah, you called me crazy. Well, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, we'll discuss this Saturday night. Look, I hope I'm wrong, but I know I'm not. There's one. I know Ohio State, Indiana. Ohio State win that game by 2 touchdowns.
You also took Colorado when I told you they're going to get woodshedded by Arizona. I told you to take that bet, and you didn't. You didn't listen to me. But go ahead.
I did not. Hadley, have I bet? And this is the other reason why I know you're wrong. Hadley thinks IU's going to win too. That's a really bad sign for you. But have I picked? Did I pick Colorado at some point this year?
Yeah, you took Colorado Iowa State game. I told you not to. I told you to take Colorado. You took Colorado over Arizona the day I was on. I told you not to. They absolutely got woodshedded. John Hadley texted me and said, "God, you're right. You're right. You were right yesterday." I said, "I know I was. I'm always right." And so that's just kind of how it works.
Alabama. Can they make the playoffs if they lose?
They better be in. They better be in no matter what. See, you can't.
3-loss Alabama team.
See, Jason, it's back to Notre Dame Miami question. You cannot have it that way and think this is going to grow the sport or this playoff scenario of 16 teams. So you're telling me that a team sitting out right now in Ole Miss, Vandy, Texas, teams that are having a bye week because they were not good enough to play for a championship deserves to get in, but the team playing for the championship who already beat the team they're about to play does not. Make it make sense. This is an absolute mockery. Huh?
How many losses can you have and win a championship? This is why I've never liked the playoff system. We should continue to vote on the national title, this whole playoff system. Now we're going to have a 3-loss team competing for a national championship.
Well, I told you guys, you wanted more. More is less. I told you guys, more is less. Listen, I'm not with this playoff thing. I think 4 teams is perfect. It's great competition. And 4 teams allows you to compete
voting.
in the offseason. Yeah, go back to BCS. That's all I care. Because it's coming. It's going to be AI voting here soon. Watch. It'll be AI.
I don't want BCS. I want to go back to voting. I want to go back to mythical national championship.
Yeah,
a lot of good
here's
sports
the problem.
bar arguments.
Too much money now. And the bottom line is this. you can talk about revenue share, TV contracts, whatever you want to talk about. At the end of the day, Alabama already beat Georgia. Kalen DeBoer, for much as heat as he is at replacing Nick Saban, is 2-0 versus Kirby Smart. So you're just going to leave them out for getting back to a title game against a team they already beat, who a lot of people have as a favorite to win the Natty. You're going to beat them once and lose to them once and put them out of the playoff. Stop. You can't. You can't. And hold on, though. See, I'm going to cook your whole audience here. So you're going to keep Texas out, right? Because they lost to Florida. When Florida at the time was playing for their head coach who had a top 3 defense in the nation, no one wants to talk about. But you're going to hold them out for losing to Florida State, correct? Wait up, though. So Florida State beats them in week 1. You're going to hold them out for that, and you're going to hold out Texas for losing to Ohio State week 1. But you're not going to hold out Notre Dame for losing to Miami head-to-head? Stop. What are we doing? This is the biggest hypocritical voting process in the history of football. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Jason. Alabama's in the SEC. They're not in the Big 10, the Big 12, etc. They are going to get in. If they don't, you're going to have anarchy. And I'm going to take it a step further.
3 strikes, you're out at the old.
So let me ask you this. For BYU, if they lose to Texas Tech, Jason, it'll be 2 strikes, you're out. Are you going to keep BYU out?
BYU doesn't belong in the playoffs. BYU doesn't belong. They're not a legitimate playoff team in the first place. It's the Big 12. BYU.
Hold on.
I'm just keeping it real. And I like BYU.
The Big 12 this year is better than the Big 10.
Some of the best women on the planet.
The Big 12 this year is better than the Big 10. What? Yes, I said it. Arizona State, Arizona, Utah, BYU.
He just said the Big
Texas Tech. Hold on. Utah, Arizona State, Arizona, BYU, Texas Tech will beat any of the mid competition from the lower half in the Big 10. They'll beat all of them. Name me a Big 10 team. Penn State? Yeah, that worked out well. Michigan is Fugazi. They lost to USC. They're horrible. Who else? Who else? Northwestern?
Illinois.
Who's in the Big 10 this year that's so good? None of those teams are better than the teams I just mentioned, other than Ohio State and Indiana. None. So you got this year, I'm talking this year. We can't use history here and go back 5 years. This year is who you're voting on to get in the playoff. BYU absolutely belongs in. You lost your quarterback 3 weeks before the season. You're playing number 47, and you're in a playoff hunt. And one loss, Jason, in the second best conference in football this year. One loss, and you're going to kick them out for James Madison and Tulane, who let's be honest, are ranked 20th and 25th, and we think this is a great system. First of all, mid-majors don't belong. They don't belong in a top 12 scenario. Get rid of them. I would put the entire SEC in this thing and make it a round robin. If I'm the commissioner, I want to see the best football. I don't want to see these gifted awards, Jason. What are we? Mediocrity is the new excellence.
So man. when Texas Tech beats BYU by 24 this weekend, you think BYU would have a case to be in the playoffs when they lose to Texas Tech by 24 this weekend?
Yep. Why not? So the teams that didn't play because they weren't good enough to play for a title deserves in, but BYU, the team that had to put their nuts on the line and go out and play for a title, doesn't get in? What are we setting? What precedent are we setting here? So let me ask you this, Jason. So next year, when I have an opportunity to play for the conference title, I'm going to lose the last game of the year, so I don't play in it, so I can get in the playoff. Think about that.
That's what you're setting. System. That's what you're setting up. Playoffs. I got it. They got a bad system, and now we're going to put more mistakes on top of the bad system, and now we got to put teams like BYU. Had a nice season. Pat them on the butt. Great job, guys. But
who do you put in for them?
Hell, I'd put Alabama in. I'd put Illinois in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my point is, you're going to put James Madison and James Madison and Tulane. By the way, either one of them have a head coach either. So what are we doing here?
JB, let me just repeat. I got to let you go there. Hadley's telling me I got other stuff to do.
By the way, Colorado,
State, that's 14.
That's a hire that you took from the head coaching job. I heard inside information. I told Matt he's the coach in waiting because you don't leave Sacramento State. You don't leave it for that.
Well, now JB is just repeating my talking points. I've already said that, JB. I said that on today's show.
But I said it before you. I said it on 6 in the morning.
6 or 7. Oh, well, there you go. JB,
you ever going to come out and eat
always.
Real barbecue? You going to ever come out and eat real barbecue?
Let me say this. If Ohio State doesn't win by 2 touchdowns, not only will I come out and eat barbecue, I'll pay for all the food, all the alcohol, all the food. It'll all be on me. You just got to cook it.
Oh,
if Ohio State doesn't win by 2 touchdowns.
We've had these bets before, and you just didn't show up. So I'm just saying.
Well, I know. Anyway.
I
gotta go.